Good afternoon. This is Dr. Vinod Chauhan, and in the lecture series, today we will check out the independent auditor's report. After completion of the work of accounting, the work is being checked by the independent auditor, which is called as the audit, and the report is called the auditor's report. The individual audit is conducted on behalf of the income tax department, so that the assurance is given to the company that the record of company which has been prepared was prepared by using the accounting concepts and convention, and those records which were prepared were used and prepared on the basis of all the accounting rules and as well as the rules of Companies Act 1956. Now the Companies Act has amended to the New Companies Act 2013. So all these provisions are regarding to the Companies Act 2013, but somewhere at some of the points where the Companies Act 2013 has no provision, those are in those cases the Companies Act 1956 will be applicable. The independent auditor's report is based upon and is given to the members of the company. This report, which is given to the members, is based upon the financial statement. So the major points which is included under this is report on financial statement, which is the report on accounting work done by the company, then management's responsibility for the financial statement, which is the part of management work and the statutory provision which are being followed by the management of the company. Thereafter, auditor will state his responsibility statement that he has done the work properly, and finally his opinion that whether the work of accounting which has been done by the company is done as per the existing law and by fulfilling the auditing rules. The major part which includes, that is the conformity with the accounting principles and generally accepted accounting principle in India, and that is why there are 3 points which has been covered under this. The first point is related with the balance sheet, second is related with the profit and loss statement, and third is related with the cash flow statement. It is the auditor's liability to present that the all these 3 financial statement is prepared on the day, and that is prepared as per the existing laws and rules by fulfilling the laws. So that is why they said that they are presenting these 3 documents as per the conformity with the accounting principles and GAAP. Next part which they have to present is the report on the legal and regulatory requirement as per the Companies Act Auditor Rule 2003, which is issued by the Central Government of India, and as per the section 227(4)(a) of the Act, they have to provide the detail and the annexures which will be related with the company's law and order. As required by the section 227(3), the company should be providing the information which is compulsory, and the auditor has to sign that the report and the information is being provided. Those information includes, number 1, that auditor has obtained all the information and explanation which is required to do the audit. This includes the basic information regarding the vouchers and the basic detail which is required to be checked in the work of audit. The second point is related with the books of accounts. Auditor has to present that books of accounts is being done by the company, and the proper care is being taken by the company for the purpose of keeping the books of accounts. Thereafter, on the final accounts, the auditor will provide a statement by saying that the balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, and the cash flow, which are the 3 statements provided under the financial statement by the company, is made as per the agreement and as per the books of accounts. The opinion of auditor is presented in the next point, and it is presented in the way that these three statements were prepared by complying or by compliance of the accounting standard, which is notified under the various act by time to time issued by the government, and as well as provided by the Corporate Affairs Ministry, and as per the section 133 of the Companies Act 2013. Thereafter, the final statement is related with the Board of Directors, which says that written representation which is required to the auditor for the purpose of showing that the final accounts prepared are prepared as per the accounting and auditing standard. So that a statement is being given and is taken by the auditor from the directors and the board of directors by saying that the board of directors, out of them, nobody is disqualified to hold the post for the board of directors. So the board of directors and their appointment terms and conditions is also being checked by the auditor. Finally, the audit report is being signed for the purpose of signature. If the chartered accountant is the only person who is working for the purpose of audit, he will make his sign with his membership number. If the audit firm is a partnership firm, then it is signed by the partners of the firm with the firm's registration number and the chartered accountant's membership number. If chartered accounting firm is a company, then in that case the official of the company with their registered number will sign on the auditor's report and will write the place and date. Normally, the signature of the auditor's report is important because those who have signed the auditor's report have actually taken the liability that the work which is done by the company is correct, the company has kept the appropriate books, and later on they will also say that the true and fair concept is being followed under making the accounts by the company. With these auditors' reports, there are some annexures which are also included in that. The annexure of auditors' report was or is related with some of the following points. Number one, in respect of the fixed assets, the auditor has to say that the company's fixed assets is really in existence and it is held with the company. It has no charge over it, or no loan is taken on the basis. In respect of inventory, the auditor has to state that the inventory which has been shown by the company with the opening and closing balances are in existence and the proper care is being taken for the purpose of recording the inventory. In respect of the loan, secured loan or unsecured loan which is granted or which is taken by the company, the auditor has to check out that a register is maintained for those parties as per the section 301 of Companies Act 1956, and it is also same for the purpose of inventory. The fourth point is related with the information and explanation which is given to the auditor. So again they have right that the right, and they have to speak about the adequacy of the internal control system which is in the business as per the size of the business. So they will inform that the explanation which is given to them as per the internal control system. The internal control system is adequate in the company, and as per this control system, the work of one person was checked by another. So that is the another information which is related with the auditor's reports annexure. Thereafter, the contract between the company and other party. So are they reported as per the section 301? So if they are reported, then the auditor will say yes, they are reported. Otherwise, the auditor will mark the company's report, despite of writing it as a clean report, it will be qualified by the auditor. The next part is related with the information and explanation which is given as per the order, as per the clause number 6 of the paragraph number 4, and the company has maintained this or not. And the final point is related with the opinion of the auditor, that as per the opinion of the auditor, the company has internal audit system or not, the company has commenced the work for establishing the internal audit system, and up to what extent the audit system is providing the appropriate detail. Thereafter, the cost record of the company are also being seen. So the auditor will provide information that the cost accounting record of the company is prepared as per the cost accounting records as per the rules which is issued by the central government. So whether the company is providing and maintaining the cost accounting records or not, as per section 2091D of Companies Act 1956, that has to be stated by the auditor. Thereafter, the auditor will also inform and will also write in the annexure the points regarding to the statutory due, that if there is something which is due on the name of taxes or by any mean which is called as a statutory due, so auditor will write a statement over this. Thereafter, the accumulated loss, if there are some accumulated loss in the firm which has to be amortized this year, then the auditor will also inform that these are the losses which should be amortized by the company, and up to an extent it has amortized is appropriate or not as per his opinion. Thereafter, the auditor will provide his opinion that company has not defaulted any payment due to any financial institution, bank, or to the debenture holder. If there is any default, it has to be stated in annexure. Thereafter, the auditor will provide the information regarding the loans and advances which have been granted by the company on the basis of securities by the way of pledge of shares or debenture or other securities, that the company has not issued any shares or debentures or securities for which company has pledged the shares. The next point includes that the type of company, by saying a simple statement, auditor will explain that the company is not a chit fund company, not a nidhi company, or mutual benefit fund company, or a society. So the company is not working in those 4 areas which has already been mentioned. Thereafter, the auditor will prepare will check out the statement which has been prepared, and by saying that the company has maintained the proper record for the transaction of shares, securities and debentures and the investment or not. So this is the information which is being provided. The further information is provided by the auditor in respect of the guarantee and loan, whether the company has given any guarantee or loan for any type of loan which is taken or which is given by the company from the banks or from the financial institution. If any term loan which is being taken by the company during the period, that has to be shown here. Thereafter, the short term loan which is taken by the company and which will be utilized to repay the long term investment or will be utilizing in terms of converting it into the long term investment. So if that is being done by the company, the auditor should inform or should write it here in the annexure of the auditor's report. The next point is regarding the preferential allotment of shares. So if the company has made any preferential allotment of shares, the auditor will be checking it out that whether the register is maintained for that under section 301 or it has been informed to the registrar of the companies well in advance or not. The next part is related with the securities and changes in the secured debenture. If company has made any change in any of the condition of the securities which has been issued by the company, that has to be maintained and that has to be write it here. The company will also provide the information regarding the public issue, that if company has taken loan by the way of public issue, that has to be informed. And finally, they will also provide information that in their opinion, in the opinion of auditor, the explanation which is given to, which is required and which is given to them by the management is correct. There is no material fraud, means all the information which has been given to them is appropriate one. Now thereafter we will check it out the actual auditor's report of the company to check it out these 21 points, that whether it is being followed by the company or not. For this purpose, the company which was selected is Tata Steel Company. This is the annual report part, that is the independent auditor's report on consolidated statement given by the company. Now if we check it out, the independent auditor's report was informed to the board of directors of the company, which says that the board of directors of Tata Steel Limited and the consolidated statement which have been presented by them is as per the Companies Act and as per the auditor's rule. The management responsibility on consolidated statement is being marked here. Thereafter, the auditor's responsibility, that the auditor is not having any disquality or any disqualification for audit of the firm. The opinion of the auditor on the consolidated statement, on the state of affairs of the company, on the basis of the balance sheet, the profit and loss statement and cash flow statement. Thereafter, the other matters which are also related with the company are reported by the company in these few points. Finally, the audit is being done by the Deloitte Haskins Sells LLP company, which is a chartered accountant firm. So the name of the firm, its registration number, and it is signed by the person who is the member, and their membership number is to be written with the date and with the place. Thereafter, the consolidated statements are also being provided by the Tata Steel. So these are the consolidated statement. With the consolidated statement, notes on consolidated balance sheet and final accounts are also being provided by the company, and those includes the first note, which is important for this purpose, that is based upon the principles of consolidation, that the company has done the work of consolidation, which is being done by following all the rules and regulations. Thereafter, the company will provide the detail of the rules and regulations. So these are the few points which is being provided by the company's auditor in the independent auditor's report. If all these points are being covered in the auditor's report, and later on it is also being shown that all the work which is to be done by the company is actually being done by the company and there is no drawback, then the auditor of the company will provide the clean report which contains all the information regarding to the auditor and regarding to the tax authority, which will satisfy them that the company has prepared the correct accounts and the balance sheet, the profit and loss statement and the cash flow represent the real actual work of the company. If in case the auditor will found that there is anything which is lagging, either the auditor has not received the proper explanation, auditor has not checked out the assets at its real location, and the director have not provided any clarification to the auditor, in that case the report of the auditor will be called as qualified report, in which auditor will write some qualities which is actually the drawback of the company's annual accounts, and those are to be presented to the shareholders so that shareholders will understand that these are the area where the company is like. But for the purpose of a good report and a well-defined internal and external system of accounts, in those cases the company's report will be the real report and there is no drawback by the or no qualities which is presented by the company. So that's it for today. Thank you.